Welcome to Penelope's workshop. My name is Jim, and I'm here to talk about an RV air conditioner that I just installed. So we have an old motorhome that was built in the year 2000. We bought it a few years ago, and the idea was just to fix it up. And it's been a long process because there was a lot wrong with it. I had to replace the roof, and I had to redo the whole interior. All kinds of stuff. It just has been going on for a long time. But I had installed a new air conditioner a few years ago, a different brand, and it failed after about 2 years. So I bought the EcoCool. And this EcoCool is the one that integrates into the duct system that you might already have in your motorhome. And I hadn't seen a YouTube video on how to install that one. I'd only seen YouTube videos about how to install the one that has its own duct so it doesn't interface to your duct system. And that's a lot different. It has a whole different control system. It uses you can use a phone as a remote. It also comes with a remote. The one I got that goes into your existing duct system only has a wall thermostat. Doesn't have the remotes, but it's fine. It's really good. Our motorhome's 26 feet long, so we're never far from that button. Anyway, so with that, let's get on with it. I just want to put in a disclaimer. I'm just showing you how I did it. I'm not a professional. If you're not sure how to do something, call a professional. But I'm just showing you what I did, the way I did it, and I had to do some things different than other people might have to. So with that disclaimer, we'll move on into the video. I just got my new EcoCool RV air conditioner. It's made by Grebe, but it's sold by Premier Products. And as you see, it came in a nice box, and it was well padded with styrofoam at either end, and it came intact. Unlike my last RV air conditioner that came broken and loose in a box. So this is great. It came really well packed, no damage at all that I could see. So here's the air conditioner unit on the floor. There are 4 sheet metal screws on one side, 4 sheet metal screws on the other side, and then there's 2 sheet metal screws on the back. And I've already taken them out, so I can just lift it up. And now you can see the inside. So here's the evaporator unit right along here, and the drain is down here and down here. And I'll pause this and then I'll tilt it outside to show you where the drain pan has come out on the bottom. Okay, so this is the side of the evaporator, and down here would be the vent, and you can see light coming in through that vent. So if you scroll around and look at the bottom, you can see where the vent is, the drain is. So this is the main, one of the drains for the condenser or evaporator pan, and down here is the other one for the evaporator pan. But if you look at the whole bottom of the unit, you see lots of slots and holes to make sure any water that gets in there other ways can drain out onto the roof. Here's some of the larger parts that came with the air conditioner. Over here is the gasket. This is the seal that goes between the roof and the air conditioner to seal it. This back piece of foam here is a foam pad for the back of the air conditioner so it just doesn't hang in the air. And these middle ones here are for sealing off on the inside, the incoming air from the outgoing air. This is the backer plate. The backer plate's pretty heavy steel. It's got 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are for the through bolts that go up. So this mounts on the inside of the cabin, and those through bolts go to the air conditioning unit, which is here. So here are the bolt holes that it connects into: here, 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 and here. And while we're here, take a look at the wiring. This is the AC power that goes in to power the air conditioner here, and this is the control unit wiring, and there's a little plug connector for that. Here's the smaller components that came with the AC unit. This is the control board that goes inside. This is the wall thermostat. This is the cable that connects the wall thermostat to the unit. Although I'm not going to use it, I'll have to splice my existing wires into that system. These are the electrical connectors. These are the 4 bolts that hold it up, the back plate to the unit itself. And then here's the 3 bolts that hold the plenum on. Okay, I'm up on the roof now, and there's the 14 by 14 foot hole for the air conditioner to seal against. And I've already brought the air conditioner up. And here you can see I put the seals on it. There's the big square seal that fits around the 14-inch hole. And there's the spacer at the bottom there, down there. And that's just to hold the end up. And I'll show you a side shot so you'll see that. And they just self-stick. It's really simple to do. And then just make sure you clean around the edges where it's going to go. And I've already set this in once, so it'll be easy. I just lay it down. This is just so you can see how it goes. Okay. So now I'm lowering it down. Pretty straightforward. All the way down. And we'll go inside to make sure it's lined up properly. But as I go down the ladder, I'll show you the space. It's really nice, this unit, because it's got a lot of space between the bottom of it and the side and the top of the RV. Let's see if I can show that well here. There you go. So there's a few leaves and this stuff in there, but you can see to the right is the ceiling gasket, and to the left is that spacer. So there's about an inch to an inch and a quarter of space beneath the bottom of the unit, which is terrific. If you do this, the easiest way to get it up, I found, and I've seen in a lot of YouTube videos, is to get an extension ladder, lay it at the lowest angle you can, and then tie a rope around it, and then one person can push it up the side of the ladder, just pushing along the rails, and the other person at the top can pull on the rope and get it up there. And they're not that heavy, you know, they weigh about, I think, 90 pounds or something like that. And then whenever you do this, always have cardboard or something on your roof so you don't hurt your roof. Mine's a PVC roof. I put in myself about 3 years ago, and I don't want to have to do it again, so I'm really cautious, always having cardboard up here when I'm moving heavy stuff. So I'm back inside, and here you can see the bottom of the unit from inside. I've got put foil all around. So as you can see, I put foil all the way around the inside of the opening, and you can see into the ducts. These are the ducts that go to the duct that goes to the left side, and when it goes through there about another 1.5 feet, then it branches, one side going over to the front and the other side going to the back vents. And here's the foil all the way around. I tried to do a good job with it. And here's the vent on the other side. This is the right side, and again it goes down that way, and then it branches to the rear and then to the front. And then here's where all those wires come out. So I've got the unit square, I think, in there, and here you can see the different wires. This is the incoming AC. This is the data cable from the for the thermostat from the AC unit, and this is my internal wiring here that I'll use because it's already in the walls and I don't want to run another one, but I'll just match them all up and make it work. And this is an extra wire in mine from for a heater. And then lastly, I've got these 2 thick wires here, and these are DC. My last two air conditioners required DC to run the fans, and this one apparently doesn't, so it must run the fan on AC, and it must also convert AC down to the power that it needs to run the thermostat, which is usually 5 volts DC or 12 volts DC, something like that. Anyway, I'll come back in a minute. With these air conditioners, you need to actually put a blocking up. So this is the incoming, this is where the return air goes back to the unit, and this is where the cold, chilled air comes back into the ducts. And so what you've got to do is put foam across here all the way down so that it's even with the ceiling. And I'll start doing that. They provide some strips of like 3/4 inch foam, and you stick them to each other. You'll see how that works in just a second. So here's the foam in place I happen to have a spare piece from something else, so I put that in on top. It was a little bit wider and sealed better. And then here's the 5 layers of foam that they provided. And let me go around to the other side so you can see it from the other side. So here's the side where the warm air returns into the system. And now it's completely sealed off from this side where the cold air comes back in and goes into the vents on either side. And so I'm going to actually come back, and so now I've got everything all taped up. This is the area that connects to the duct, and then we'll move to the other side, and this is the side that the cold air return or the warm air return goes back in, and that's taped just on the side. I didn't need to tape everything twice. So here's the electrical parts again that came with it. This is if you don't already have wires in your walls, you would use this to connect between the thermostat and the air conditioner. I've already got wires in my walls, and it's really hard to get wires in my walls, so I'm just going to use those again instead. It also provided these Molex SCPC connectors for the 110 volt connection, and I've seen these before when I put lithium batteries in my riding lawnmower. This is what they used, but I think that's overkill. I'm not going to use those. Instead, I'm just going to use these little Wagos. If you haven't used a Wago, look them up, but basically they are a little bit, in my mind, a little bit better than a wire net. So here's the thermostat, and the thermostat comes apart, and in it is the base. So there's the base that you connect to the wall, and then the wires. And I'm just going to cut these off because I'm using existing wires and I don't have a plug like that. And then I'm just going to use this little screw-in terminal to connect the thermostat wires to my wires at the air conditioner end and at the thermostat end to use my pre-existing wires. Now this thing, on this bridge connector here, the connectors are COM1, COM2, COM3, and COM4. COM1 connects to the air conditioning unit, and this whole thing will fit up into the air conditioning return plenum. COM2 and 3 are not used. COM4 is the one that has the 4 wires that go out to the thermostat. So I'm going to connect into this directly to my wires with one of these type of connectors because I don't have the right kind of plug to plug into there. So, okay, I'm getting ready to wire everything up. So here's the 110 from the air conditioner, and that's going to go to this 110 from the RV with the Wagos. So let me do that. I come right back. So there, I've got the wires connected with the Wagos. Now I'm going to stuff them up to get them out of the way for now. I'll figure out a way to connect them a little better later. That's good enough for now. Now, as far as the other stuff goes, the bridge board, which is here, if I get some light on it, the bridge board is here, and I've already wired from my existing wires, so that's good. I've got the wires I'm not going to use bundled, and you may notice that I've put the bridge board on a piece of plastic, and that's because there's so much foil up in here. I didn't want that bridge board bouncing around, shorting out. So what I've done is I've just tie wrapped it to a piece of plastic, and on the back of that plastic I've got some double-sided sticky tape, and I'm just going to pop that right up in the plenum here. So I've got everything tucked away as best I can. There's my connector right here. Here's that little board on the plastic, and here's all my extra wires. And then there's the AC wiring up there all connected. So it takes up a lot of space in that plenum. It's a little worrisome. but that's the way it is, so I'm going to try it. Now the next thing I have to do is put this ceiling plate in, and again it's got these big long bolts. It said to put a lock washer on each one, didn't come with it, but I put lock washers on them, and these are really long. So I'm going to fit it up there. I've kind of got it set up so I've cut away my false ceiling around here so that that plate will hit just against the actual ceiling and not against this crumply fake tin roof. So let's see how that works. So here's the plate. I got it loosely in there. And I'll just grab this driver. You definitely want a driver because it's so long. So here it goes. Let's start. So that's the idea. I'm gonna get it jiggle around and tighten it up hand tight, and then I'll torque it. So I used this little cute little torque wrench. It's in inch pounds and Newton meters as well, and it was a pain to go round and round with such a little thing, but I worked at it. I tightened it all slowly, gradually, about 5 inch pounds or 10 inch pounds a time till I got up to 35, and I did it in a star pattern going from here to here to here to here, and you can feel it cinch up a little bit, so I think it's good. I can always snug it up more, but they say not to take it past that because it could, I don't know what it could do, but they say not to. So 35 inch pounds, not foot pounds, inch pounds. It takes a special small torque wrench to do that. Anyway, so I hooked in my existing wires from the wall here and hooked them into this connector, which is hooked into the thermostat. And I turned the power on, and glory be. Whoops, it's upside down. It's not 18 degrees, it's 81 in here. This is Florida. So it looks like it pauses. The power goes out, probably to save power. Anyway, I'm going to get it back in the wall, and then we can put in the plenum and we're done. So this is the inside of the plenum, and it looks to me like it's raised a little bit around the edge, so this will seal up against the ceiling plate. And so let's try that and see. If you look at the other side, that's where the air in comes, and these are the vents if you want to use the local vents as opposed to the vents built in. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. It just connects with 3 bolts, but first you have to remove these to get access. These are just thumb screws to remove the filter. Do that now. It's a lot of effort to get the filter out. But that should reveal the bolt holes. There's 3 bolts, they're all in one row. Kind of surprising. I would have thought they would have been around the edge, not just on one side. But that's the way they are. So there they are. Here's the filter coming out, and there's the 3 holes. 1, 2, 3 holes. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't think I can hold the camera at the same time, so I'll go ahead and start it and come back. So here we go. There's the thermostat. I'll scroll on up, check out the plenum, and there we go. It's looking good. So with that, I'll leave you. I started around 9 this morning, and it's now 5 o'clock, so it took me about 8 hours, with about an hour off for lunch. A neighbor came over to help me slide the AC, the old AC down, the new AC up along that ladder, but it wasn't that bad. Bye for now. It's been about a week since I actually installed the air conditioner, and I just want to say it's really worked well. It's super quiet. It keeps the RV much cooler than the old AC ever did. It's amazing, actually. And the only issue I had was I didn't understand, because it has a heat pump and the air conditioning function, it can heat and cool, and you've got to be careful how you set the settings, because it's programmable. You can program it at which temperature to turn on the heat and which to turn on the cool. And I found for Florida anyway, in the winter, the best thing is to have it just in straight air condition mode, which has a snowflake icon. So if you see that snowflake icon on that thermostat, that's the cool mode for sure, no matter what. So that's what I did. Anyway, I've really enjoyed doing this video.